Alrighty, everybody. I've run a few tests, and it's, RimWorld. Let's transition here. So, a lot of the mods have not been updated to version 15, and there's too much of a mix up back and forth. So, I'm going to wait to run through some of the other games, some of the other scenarios here. Okay, like our standard mod stream that we've been doing, and the other review type stream, and some of the other stuffs and things here. I'm going to wait till later on to do. So, a couple of things have been added. RimWorld version 15. It has a new tutorial, learn to play button here in the beginning. Awesomeness. So let's check it out. So, it's pretty awesome. It is really, really cool. What's been added? I'm quite interested in seeing some of the differences. And not necessarily some of the differences, but some of the, you could say, quality of life features, right? So yeah, excited about that for sure. For sure. Alright, so. I need to close out one of these other windows. Silly thing. Keeps, messing up some of the in-game stuff here. Can't be having that now. Alrighty, so I'm not sure if it's, I don't have any mods loaded at the moment, and part of the window is being screwed up, and I'm not sure why. Oh well. Oh, good. So, creating a world. Now, it says here, alright? Alright, so. Welcome to RimWorld, right? Tutorial will teach you. So, first steps, generate. Cool. So, pretty standard stuff. So, create the world, seed. You can even put in your own name if you want to. And I like putting in the lowercase of Ace Tycho, and I like the size to be 200 by 150 usually. So generate, and it'll generate the world map for you. Super cool stuff. So now I'm not sure why it keeps doing this. Let me see if I can do a resize. Nope. Not letting me do that. That's silly. Silly. Oh well. Alright. Let's keep going. Now. Alright. So. Choose your landing site. So. Cool stuff. It explains a bit about it, right? There are lots of biomes, but for now, let's start with a friendly one. Now. Choose a landing site with temperate forest, biome, and flat terrain. So. Click select site. Now, you have to select a certain area. Temperate forest, large hills, temperate forest, small hills, flat. Then let's go ahead and select site. Cool. Now, this is one thing I found fun. And the developer said, he said that a lot of people skipped over, right? Or not really skipped over, they just never really recognized what was going on with the create characters. They didn't see the randomize button for whatever reason. I guess they just were wanting to get right into it, or just they were looking at everything else through here. So what it does, it makes you try randomizing characters. So cool, very cool. It definitely gets you to explore, check things out. And it lets you, do more if you want to, and randomize. So, pretty fun. So, And like they say here, don't try to get the perfect character. Everyone has flaws, and it makes the story more interesting. That is for sure. It wouldn't be RimWorld without a few scratches, bruises, bangs, and, well, interesting traits, huh? So, yeah, good stuff. Good stuff to be had by all. So, let's go ahead and check things out. All right. So, all right. Let's go ahead and randomize a few more times. Fun. Oh wow, teenage. You don't really see teenagers much, so that's fun. It's fun. Wow, her. That's so cool. Her chronological age is 255 years old, and that's so cool. But biologically, she's only 16 years old. But that's fascinating. She's been in cryosleep or crypto sleep sort of thing. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. She can't mine. That's one of the issues. Let's randomize. I know they said it can't be perfect. Yeah. But you can at least find someone with the traits here of mining, at least at the beginning. It's a 10. That's cool. That's cool. So, alright, let's go with it. We got a. Well, I don't know. It's a flat terrain, so there may not be hardly anything to mine. So, cool. Let's get into it. Generating map. Awesomeness. Okay, so. Okay. While it generates, I'm going to check the other window here, because I have been having a few issues with Restream.io not wanting to connect with Twitch. And it appears to be occurring right now. So, let us see. Let us see. Okay. Cool. Now. Alright, so the three of you awake in your crypto sleep sarcophagi to the sound of sirens and ripping metal. You barely get to the escape pods before the ship is torn apart. Sometime later, you land on this unknown RimWorld as pieces of the shredded starship fall around you. You start making plans to survive. Super cool. Super cool stuff. Now, one thing that was mentioned was that these tutorials here, right? It wants you to move the camera around. And it actually gives you a progress bar there. Really cool stuff. Really cool stuff. And that's fun, right? It does quite a bit of those things. So yeah, really, really fun. Alrighty, so checking Restream real quick. It does not seem to want to connect to Twitch. Oh well. During the test runs, it was great. No problem. Beautiful. Apparently not anymore. So, let's go ahead and get to it then. Looks like Burger. Burger the male Labrador. Oh, that's adorable. Okay, so let's continue moving the WASD keys around. Unfortunately, it looks like a little bit of lags occurring, and I'm going to go ahead and quit out some of the programs that I started in the other window. to see if I can get Twitch up and running live. So, looks like things are trying to load still. Okay, that is fantastic. But it's not working for our purposes now, is it? Okay. So, we better get moving on. This game will not wait for you. Well, maybe the tutorial will. But these wonderful colonists are going to die soon if we don't get things going. Now, you can also zoom in and out with the mouse wheel or the page up or down keys. So, how cool is that? Look at that. Isn't that just the coolest stuff ever? It's great. It really helps out new players and senior veterans that might have forgotten something or might have stepped away for a while. They get burned out of the game and they want to do something else, come back and refresh their skills a bit. So, cool stuff indeed. Now, you can... Looks like somebody is sick. Oh my. Alrighty. So, you can pause time. This means you never need to rush. You can always pause and take your time to issue orders. Try pausing with the space key or by using the time controls in the bottom right. So, I usually like using the space key. Very cool. Or just pausing like that. Now, you can also speed up time. So by controlling time with the 1, 2, or 3 keys, you can do that awesome stuff. Now, of course, you can use this little control panel down here, like I'm doing now. There we go. So, they're going to help you figure out stockpiles. A lot of people are, well, it can be a somewhat confusing sort of interface at the beginning, and they lead you through the simple steps of creating a stockpile. Super cool stuff. Boom, done. Awesome. And there we go. Now, it even helps you with figuring out what in the world you want to put in here. So, really cool stuff. Alright, now, these items here, right? It'll let you check things out and say, well, how do they start collecting and doing? And well, it shows you how. Really cool stuff. And look at that. It even labels each thing. How cool is this? Usually use F to quickly unforbid things, and you're good to go there. Unforbidding, and of course they need it. They're gonna be hungry, of course, so we better unforbid some of that as well. And of course the medicine, extremely important. Okay, cool. What else? I knew those little arrows would pop up, and those are so cool. Love them. Ah, yes, the plasteel knife, some silver, and some components. Ah, yes, our trusty survival rifle. Cool. Now, awesome, it says. Next, we'll build a room. Click Architect, Structure, and select the wall. Oh, yes. Let's make a wood structure. Cool. Alright, so, good stuff, for sure. Select the walls, get things rolling. Let's zoom out some. Okay, cool. And yes, I am. I'm already planning ahead. Let's go ahead and it does not let you. Doesn't let you in the tutorial. You're a little locked in, and that's okay. That is perfectly okay. Because it's a tutorial. They don't, it doesn't want you screwing things up in the process. Now, just place a door over any one of the room walls. Door is right beside wall in the architect menu. And there we go. It's right here. Perfectly blinking with all of its might. And there we go. Rock and roll. Cool. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So, it says here, your colonists will build the room, and now they need somewhere to sleep. Place 3 beds inside the room. Find them in the furniture category. And there we go. Of course, architect, furniture, and bed. Wood bed. And place them wherever you want inside. Fantastic. Okay, now you'll also want some light inside. Your colonists will get grumpy in the dark. Build a torch lamp inside the room, and that is conveniently also inside the furniture tab. There we go. Put it right next to the doorway so they have a bit of light coming in and out so they don't trip and fall. Okay. That's me saying that. That doesn't actually happen in the game. Yet. I wouldn't be surprised if they add that in. So, your pet will sleep inside with you. Place an animal sleeping spot inside the room because you totally don't want your buddy sleeping any old random location. They need to sleep inside. Perfect spot. Now, it says here, your colonists need sources of joy, or they'll get sad over time. Build a horseshoes pin outside, near this room. That is located in the joy spot. Horseshoe. And you can build it out of steel or wood. I'm using wood because in this particular environment, there's a lot of wood around. There we go. Perfect. The house is being built. Your colonists will need something to eat. So, place a growing zone as indicated on the map. So, this is where your colonists will sow crops. And that is located architect, zone area, and growing zone. So, there we go. Left click and just drag it from corner to opposite corner up above. So if you start down below. And they will begin sowing. Now, you can decide what plants your colonists should sow in the growing zone. Right click to exit architect mode. Click your growing zone to select it. Click the select plant command at the bottom and change it to rice. So let's do that. And there's rice plant. Excellent. Have your colonists equip the starting weapons. To equip a weapon, click a colonist to select them. Bush, or did that say rush? That says rush. Alrighty, rush. There we go. Okay, rush. So, let's go ahead and right click. Uh-oh. Come here, you. Does this character have a high shooting skill? No. No. I am now pushing period to cycle through. And nobody has a high shooting skill. So it doesn't really matter. And that's okay. Let's get going. Alright. Equip survival rifle. Excellent. melee of 6, melee of 4, and there we go. Looking for the knife. We'll go ahead and put her, equip the pistol, and then this character has a level 6 practitioner level of melee. Cool. So, there we go. Equip plasteel knife. Super cool. Now, it's time to put a fueled stove. And you see they're building the roof on. Excellent. Build a fueled stove inside the room. Cool. So go down to Architect. Go to Production. Fueled stove. You can hit R to rotate the items around. And what do we do? Left click to place it. And there we go. Colonists need to be told what to cook. And it tells you what to do here. So, we can click on this once it's built. Now they should be going to get some wood from somewhere. Looks like Rush is getting... Okay, good. Hauling the steel in and going to get some wood. Nope, still hauling steel. That's okay. These other two looks like they are growing and getting materials. Very cool. What's good old Burger doing? Let's go ahead and start with obedience training and hauling training. Very cool. I usually do more than one, but we'll keep it simple for now. Okay. We'll zoom out a little, and we will watch them. Awesome. Okay. It's so much fun to watch as they go about their way, their day, or their night, and take care of things. It makes you think, what would you be doing in this situation? How would you be thinking about it? What would be occurring? It's so much fun. Very cool stuff. Okay, now, stove, bills, add bill, simple meal. And do this forever. And there you go. Now, it does say go to 10. And I'm going to do that, but I would highly recommend do it forever, at least at the beginning. I would also recommend, though, well, they don't have it in the tutorial, but there's a material called pemmican, right, that you can cook. You may have to research it at the beginning. I'm not sure. I don't believe so. I believe from the tribal level up, and tribal level is the lowest level, that you can start it and cook it. And it lasts, it lasts quite a while. So, okay. And there we go. 10. Cool. Now, your colonists will cook some food. Tasty. Totally. Next, you'll want to mine some materials. And he says here, I've spawned some materials. Mine some mineable steel near your base. So let's follow the arrow. There we go. How convenient is that? So, select the mine designator and drag over the steel to designate it for mining. So go down to Architect, Orders, and Mine. And just drag over the whole thing. Done. Awesome. You'll want to harvest some wood. Designate some trees to be chopped. Select the Chop Wood in the same place that mining was. Let's do that right next to that area. And you'll see those little white squares that highlight the items that are eligible for the task or the order that you're designating. And there we go. Okay. Now, by default, it does not mine. It does not harvest or chop things that are not completely full grown yet. So you'll allow things to fully grow and be ready, so you get the most yield, or the most numbers or bounty. That's what yield means, really, in this case. So, all right, now you can control which colonist does what kind of work. Open the Work tab at the bottom of the screen, and there we go. So work. Awesome. This is one of your most important tabs. Each one's important, but this is one you'll be going to and checking on things quite often. Besides the Architect tab, which you'll use often, Work will be another one. Now, it says here you can control who does what. Okay? Now, what that means is, for instance, if you take off the firefight from all of them, nobody will extinguish fires. So be careful. Be extremely careful what you do. Alright, now you see here, higher priority is up this direction, and it goes down towards the right to lower priority items, meaning research will be one of the very last things they end up doing. All of these other areas will need to be fulfilled, or preferably will be fulfilled before they'll do research. For instance, if there's a fire and firefighting is needed, or if somebody is hurt and doctoring is needed, and of course there's a green check mark inside the box, meaning that's a designated order or work task for them to do, then they will do that first. So doctoring or firefighting will come before flicking a switch or cooking or constructing. There you go. Pretty cool. Very, very good system, and a pretty simple and straightforward way to show things. Really cool stuff. Looks like Yuri is carrying a simple meal and cooking simple meal. Very cool. Now, to advance, you'll need to research new technologies. Build a wooden, simple research bench inside your room. So go down to Architect, go to Production, and then go over here to Simple Research Bench. Cool. Hit R, of course, to rotate things around. Should we put it on the side here? Do you think we should? I think we should. Let's go ahead and do that. Cool. Excellent, it says. Next, you'll want to select what you want to be researched. Open the Research tab. Well, you can't exactly do that yet in terms of the researching, but go ahead and select this Research tab, and you'll see here, until you build a research bench, your colonists will not actually be able to do research. However, you can still look at the research projects now. And it says up here, now just choose whatever you want to be researched first. You might have to wait for the research bench to be constructed, of course. If it's taking too long, press the Work tab to assign more colonists to construct. So, what things do we need the most? I'm considering the time of the year. It's the 6th of spring. It will be getting quite hot soon. So that means we'll probably need a cooler. And the cooler also helps with generally cooling areas and will help with preserving the food some. Not as good as a freezer per se or a electric sort of device, right? But it's and this is part of the new update as well, a passive cooler. Really awesome stuff. Now it's locked, and it's locked, and it's locked, and it's locked. Why is that? Well, they're still working on things. So, really interesting. And you'll see here in the research tab, batteries are already researched, complex clothing, nutrient paste, solar panels, air conditioning, and electricity. Now, the passive cooler will be extremely useful. Of course, the air conditioning is better, but, of course, passive coolers don't use electricity, and that helps. That helps, especially in critical times of need. Your colonists won't die, or won't die as easily from heat stroke and things of that nature. And that was a big issue with especially on the tribal level. When you started out with them, it just didn't work very well due to that reason of being in the summer. They would die of heat stroke quite easily. And there you go. So, alright. You hear them cutting, and looks like they're wandering around. Uh-oh. That's not good. Constructing, hunting, plant cut. Let's go ahead and select the other person to plant cut. Alright. And handling. Very cool. Meaning helping out with animals. Very cool stuff. Okay. And there we go. There we go. Okay, so let's watch them. Get this research bench done. Okay. Okay, so they are slowly but surely getting this done. So what do? We speed up time. So push 3 on the keyboard. Or, of course, just select over here. Now, research. Stone cutting. Cool. Definitely need to get the passive going. Rush is out here. Alright. Come on now. Looks like Russia is grabbing a bite to eat. Very cool. So let's speed it up a bit more. And let's see what happens. And remember everybody, this is live and awesome. This is a lot of fun. It's good times. Okay, so they're all sleeping for the night. That's okay. Let's go ahead and slow it down and then pause it. We'll zoom out. We'll take a peek around. Speed it up some. And there we go. Speed it up all the way. So, very interesting area here. A few areas. Down here is a bit of an area to dig into and possibly build inside to have a little bit better protection and just a better sort of base, right? If you build into a rocky area. Now, of course, you can build rooms and continue building out. That's perfectly fine. But it's also recommended to get some stronger walls and things like that. And usually mining into areas and building rooms into those areas, it's a lot better that way, for sure. Alright, let's go ahead and pause it. Click on. And let's see what Yuri's up to. They're all sleeping, of course. Now, they'll be up soon enough. And how do you know that? Well, one, they're scheduling, which we'll show in a few minutes. It won't let us do this. But go to character, and you can see stuff that they're up to under needs and health. So, you go to the character and see what they're up to, right? What's going on, what their levels are at. Okay. Now, some of these things, for instance, if they're incapable of things, it influences other things. And I'm using the word things because things are things and stuff is stuff, right? Perfect reason, I guess. So the fun thing is that they influence factors. For instance, if they are a night owl, well, they're going to want to be up at night and sleep during the day. Now, go over here to needs, and you'll see in here, for instance, if they are a night owl, and if they're up during the day, then they're going to have a negative factor here, right? So, interesting thing is they are resting, and you can see that. And as soon as that's done, or since they are under the anything part of the scheduling, they'll continue resting until it's work time. But thing is, they don't have work time yet because we have not assigned that. And usually by default, it's an anything sort of situation. So let's slow it down a little bit and let's watch Yuri check things out. Fully rested, feeling great. And there we go. He is up there and grabbing a meal. Very cool. And you got to remember, this is all on the fly. Now, work left is 33. 75 wood was used. 25 steel was used. They just need to simply finish it. So let's see what's happening. Looks like it's about to be finished. And we will continue on with our research project here. Excellent. Oh no. Oh, that's fun. So Yuri failed while constructing wood simple research bench. Very cool. Very cool factors here. Because if you look at the character and you look at construction, look at that. It's professional level. But that's part of RimWorld. There are all sorts of factors. For instance, this construction of a 6, I'm going to take off. So, go down to work, construct, and unselect it so that this lovely teenager can get on with other things like cloud watching in the mornings. So, good times to be had. Good times by all. It looks like they're playing horseshoes, getting some joy in for the day. That is so, so important. And in a lot of ways, if you want to, with this game, you can think about yourself. How would you deal with the situation? What would you need? What would be occurring? And it's a lot of fun, for sure, to go about it that way. So, let's go ahead and go with passive cooler, just in case. Maybe we should go with pemmican, but for now, let's go with passive cooler. And we'll go from there. Okay. Research is activated. And there we go. And it says here, next, you'll learn to expand the home area. Colonists will clean floors and extinguish fires in the home area only, and ignore fires or filth outside of it. The home area is added automatically when you build things, but you can also expand it manually. Select the Expand Home Area tool and drag out a new area on the map. The thing is, down below here, you'll see these little icons on the bottom right. Okay? And looks like a few things have been added. So I'm going to go over a couple of little details here. Toggle colonist bar up at the top there. Colonist bar used to not exist before in other version, but now it does. But also, there's now an option to toggle it on and off. Here, you can toggle the room stats display, and there we go. When you hover over a room, it says a few stats there. I'm not going to go into details now. Now, toggle beauty display. Okay, I'm going to untoggle the room display, and this beauty display, as you see in a circular or a circle in this radius, it shows the different plus and minuses with the numbers of what things are influencing the beauty of an area. So, very interesting stuff. Alright, now, let's continue on. Okay, visibility of zones. And this one is the, yes, the learning helper. Very cool. Very cool. This is this new sort of system that is in to help people along. If situations pop up, the learning helper can assist with getting them through a situation. It may not always be perfect, but it will help them. Whereas before they were somewhat at a loss, not knowing what's going on. So, and we can get more into that at some other point. Now, toggle visibility of roofs. Very interesting. Very interesting stuff. So, you can see that there. It's a roofed area, and you can see what is roofed. Very, very cool. It can be very useful. Now, this will toggle automatically expanding the home area around new constructions. And that was the point I was going to make. You can automatically select it to be on or off. And then getting a phone call. And so you can then make sure that areas are taken care of appropriately. Alrighty, everybody, let's watch them and let's see what's happening. Alrighty, so things are progressing. Things are going quite well. And spring is happening. Now, usually each season, as it says there, is 15 days. So, they go past pretty quickly. And we'll need to be okay. So, it says here, so with the home area, let's go down to Architect, Zone, and the home. There we go. How cool is that, right? And as you can see, with the automatic down here, with the toggle automatically expanding the home area around new constructions. That means if you zone an area, that is considered a new construction, as well as, of course, when you're building and also mining areas out. That's considered a home zone area. And there we go. So, let's expand out some. And there we go. Very cool stuff. So, the build roof area defines where your colonists will try to build roofs. It autofills when you enclose a new room. Select the Expand Build Roof Area tool and drag out the shape of a porch roof on the front of the house. Very fun times. Very cool stuff. And here's the cool thing. One of my regulars on the live stream on Twitch, right? Definitely check it out there, right? Hang out, have good times. But one of my regulars on there said that he likes to build a roof area out because it helps with covering areas, meaning shadowing it off. Okay, so it shadows an area, and that will actually affect visibility. Very interesting. So let's say you put some sandbags under here, and you have some cover. Your people can shoot out and defend the area while having the coverage of shadows. Now, I'm not sure if that still works, but at the time, and it still is, it was an awesome idea. Really, really cool stuff. Now, great, it says. You've now got a basic colony running. Eventually, enemies will raid your colony. It's time to prepare for that. Select the Sandbags designator and drag the sandbags out. Okay, now let's do that. So, you're dragging them out at the designated area here, of course. So let's go ahead and do that. Down here in Security, inside the Architect tab. So Security, and then Sandbags. Now, let's do this. And as you can see, sandbags take steel. So be careful. Be very careful. You don't want to use up all your steel for things that you might need to prioritize for higher level building. For instance, the research bench, right? And also the fueled stove needs steel. So at the beginning, make sure that you prioritize the correct things. Otherwise, you might be in a more challenging situation, or just completely screw up and everybody's going to die if they can't eat and or take care of certain things. So just be careful of that. So it says here, let's just wait for your constructions to be built. Consider using the Work tab to assign more colonists to construct. Also, you can speed up time to shorten the wait. So let's go ahead and do that. And it says, once everything's built, I'll send an attacker to test your defenses. Okay, very exciting. So let's make sure everybody has their weapons. Okay, pistol, survival rifle, and plasteel knife. Excellent. And you always want to prioritize, not always, but make sure that the melee people have melee weapons, right? And shooters have things that shoot. So there you go. Now sometimes you want just the opposite. You want your people with a lower shooting skill to have better weapons because they need as much help as they can get. Usually the higher end shooters can usually use any sort of weapon that can shoot to a pretty high proficiency or use it really well and quite easily. And they can get by and defend and or hunt quite well with that weapon. And your lower skill shooters, the higher capable weapons will just help them do a better job. So there you go. There you go. Now, one thing I'm considering, since they're still constructing here, I want to move a lot of this zone inside. I'm also considering just building a building here. So that's something I'm thinking. But first things first, right? So let's just wait for the constructions to occur and speed it up by hitting 3 or this button down here on the right. There we go. Uh-oh. It's a first raid. There we go. Now, it says, I've now sent a raider to attack your colony. Pause the game by hitting space. Read the red letter in the bottom right of the screen. So, let's do that. Now, my settings in the menu. Okay. Options. And what it does, it pauses on the loading of the game, and it pauses on urgent letter. So that means if something occurs that's urgent, it will pause the game. So that is a lifesaver, literally on here. Sometimes things pop up and you don't always catch them in time. There's a lot of things occurring and oops, bad things start to happen. That's for sure. That is for sure. So, alright, let's go ahead and back on out here. And let's read this letter. A group of pirates from the Convict Pack have arrived nearby. They're attacking immediately. Oh boy. Oh boy. So, it says up here, draft your colonists by selecting them and hitting the draft command. Right click to them. What does that say? Right click to them to positions inside the sandbag square. Okay, that needs to be touched up a little. All good though. Touching the sandbags. Now, unpause the game. So, what they mean is you right click to them to positions. So basically, click Yuri, has a pistol. Let's go up here in this corner. Okay. Now, you click R or hit R, hit the key, right? It drafts them. Or just click down here and draft them. Now, right click, go to rush, to select her, make sure that she's also drafted. Now, she is equipped with a survivor rifle. Let's go ahead and move her up here. And mama. Let's go ahead and draft her and move her down this way. She does have a melee knife or a melee weapon, and we might move her inside, not sure yet. The one thing though is when you click this button over here, a group of pirates, right? They're attacking immediately. Now conveniently it has an arrow here. That does not happen in game. Not that I'm aware of. At least it didn't before this update. So, let's move on up here. And let's see where they're at and what they're doing. Okay, there we go. Here is the raider. Alright, so equipped with a steel knife. And it has quite a few clothing items. Very interesting. And a bit of silver. Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Cool. Character type, too smart, chemical interests, high melee skill. Okay. Alright. And a pretty good shooting skill as well. Needs. Alright, so not so bad. And health. Okay, not bad at all. That's not good for us, but we're going to take care of that right now. So, I hit spacebar, and the raider begins approaching. So here we go, everybody. Our very first raid. They will stay where they're positioned at when they're drafted. Now, after a while, they will become undrafted, and they will go on about their way. Similar to people. If you keep them in one position for too long, they're going to get restless, and they're going to have other priorities pop up. So, alright. Zooming out. Zooming out. And we're waiting. And we're looking. And we're looking. And we're waiting. And there we go. Looks like the raider will be coming from that side over here. Let's go ahead and move. Okay. There we go. Now, let me pause it. Let me show you. Right here. This little icon here. Okay. Right here. It changes how the colonist will react to nearby enemies when the colonist is not drafted. So, if you want them to just ignore all enemies, not give any cares, well then there you go. That's the symbol for that. Click this and they will attack enemies. And of course this one is they will flee or run away. So there you go. There you go. So I usually like to make my fighters, or the higher melee and shooting skilled colonists, be able to defend themselves. But also, if they're hunters, which usually go hand in hand, not always, but usually, then I also like them to attack as well. Because sometimes wild animals will attack them, they'll begin to run away, and they'll get beat to death, or eaten, or hurt quite badly while they're trying to run away. Otherwise, they can just attack and kill the animal. Yes, be injured to a certain point, but usually win and survive the encounter instead of trying to run away the whole time. Okay, there we go. Mama is stabbing and hitting, and there we go. Success. So I'm going to go ahead and save it here. And we will name this Training. So, training colony. Easy enough, right? And there we go. There we go. Alright, everybody. We have successfully beaten our very first raid. Awesome stuff. For sure. Now, it's the end of the tutorial. There are still tons more to learn, including prisoners, hunting, trade, animal taming, and much more. But you've got the basics down. Random incidents were disabled during this tutorial. To begin the real game, open the menu tab in the bottom right, select options, click choose storyteller. Select a storyteller and difficulty level that appeals to you. Good luck and have fun. So, you go down here, you choose options, you choose storyteller, and then you choose the difficulty level. Now, there's 3 different types of storytellers. This one is the lovely Cassandra Classic. Cassandra creates story events on a steadily increasing curve of challenge and tension. And so you can just be a base builder and have fun hanging out and building bases in a sandbox-like environment. Threats appear, but they're extremely weak. Some of the more dangerous events are even disabled. And then all the way up to extreme. And it says here, as hard as a diamond-bladed dagger. Enemies are strong, prices are poor, food is scarce, and colonists are grumpy. That's actually really horrible. For those who enjoy digital suffering. So there we go. And so let's quickly look at the other two storytellers here. Phoebe Chillax. I enjoy playing with her. She's awesome for base building, and for more casual play, it's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Sometimes I put her on. Sometimes I put Phoebe with more rough sort of circumstances, and it's an enjoyable challenge at times. So it says here, Phoebe gives lots of time between disasters to relax and build your colony, but beware, at high difficulties, she'll hit as hard as anyone. So there we go, people. There we go. Okay, now we will continue on. I'm going to cut it off here, and we will start this next section with the next episode. So take care, everybody. It has been awesome hanging out, showing you around RimWorld, and we will go from there. So take care. Bye-bye now.